Hey there, friends. Welcome to the Having a Mom Moment podcast, where we dive deep into the world of motherhood and beyond. I'm your host, Shannon Warner, and I am excited to embark on this journey with all of you. Here's the deal. This podcast is your ultimate sanctuary, your sacred space to hit pause on the chaos of mom life and reconnect with the amazing woman behind the title of mom. Yep, it's all about those precious mom moments because, let's face it, we all need a little more time for ourselves. Am I right? So what can you expect from our time together? Well, picture this. We'll be soaking up wisdom from fellow moms, sharing their stories and triumphs and how they've tapped into alignment on their own motherhood journeys. It's like a mom-to-mom chat over coffee, with a sprinkle of inspiration and a dash of humor thrown in for good measure. We're here to light up your soul, to remind you of your incredible power, and to celebrate the unique spark that makes you, you. Because when we take care of ourselves, we become unstoppable forces for good in the lives of those we love. So join me as we laugh, learn, and rediscover the magic of this crazy ride called motherhood together. Get ready for your weekly dose of connection and encouragement, because around here, we don't just mom. We mom with purpose and power in alignment with our true selves. Stay tuned, my friends. The adventure starts now. Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I know how busy you are, and I know how tricky it can be sometimes to find enough quiet space in your day to listen to a podcast episode. So it means a lot that you're letting me into your ears today. It's officially the end of summer here in my part of the world. Our kids go back to school at the time that this airs tomorrow. And it's been a good summer, and I have done my best to make it a very intentional summer and a summer of ease and joy. And I think I have succeeded. And that's part of the reason why, if you follow me over on socials, I haven't been that active. I have made it a point to spend less time scrolling and less time creating for social media, and spend more time on the things that felt more fun. I hope that you spent some time on things that have felt more fun to you as well. Now, I know you're starting to juggle those back to school schedules, and I don't know about you, but our week, Monday to Friday, has quickly begun to fill up. But I have made it a point to schedule in something just for me that I am nervously excited about. I am a former dancer, and I am busting out my old tap shoes, and I have signed up for a dance class, and I'm telling you because I want to hold myself accountable. And I also want you to do something for yourself as well. So what could you schedule into your week every week just for you? It doesn't have to be a class. It could be something else, but where could you carve out 30 minutes, something just for you, just for your joy and entertainment? So if you do pick something and add it to your calendar, I would love to know about it. You can DM me or you can tag me on Instagram. I would love to cheer you on. No matter how big, no matter how small, I would love to cheer you on, because when we pour into ourselves and take the time to do it, our kids benefit, our partners benefit, and the ripple effect is huge. This week for you, I have an amazing guest who she and I bumped into each other on Instagram about a year ago, a little over a year ago now, I think. And I really enjoyed chatting with her and just following her and getting to know her and the work that she does. So when she approached me with the opportunity to collaborate, I was like, absolutely, yes, please. Yes, please. And I think you can hear it in our voices that we had a lot of fun in this conversation, and she shines a beautiful light, and I'm glad that she's here to share it with all of you. So our guest this week is Nadine Stille. Nadine coaches ambitious moms around the globe to get their mojo back, go after the thing that they truly want and can't stop thinking about, even if it's freaking them out. It's all about following their hearts, from carving out more me time for themselves, rediscovering themselves, going for a career change, starting a passion project, or even their own business. Moms feel more energized, confident, and powerful when they pursue their dreams and go at a pace that works for them. Baby steps or giant leaps. When Nadine doesn't power up moms to run their world with ease and passion, she's likely taken a moment for herself with a book or having fun with her growing family in Vancouver, BC, Canada. I have found some really amazing, incredible women in Vancouver, BC. I don't know what's in the water up there, but ladies in Vancouver, you're magical. You are incredible. And you also live in a really beautiful place. It's definitely on the Warner's bucket list of destinations. So, without further ado, here's Nadine.
Hello, my friends. I'm back with another guest episode for you. I'm so excited. And she and I have already been talking for 16 minutes now. And, I pressed record a long time ago, and we should have just introed and got off with it from the beginning, but it's been good. So I'm excited. And as I told her, I'm going to let her introduce herself because her name sounds so much better coming out of her mouth than it will mine. So will you please tell us who you are and what you do, and welcome. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh. Shannon, thank you so much. Yeah, we're full of smiles, and it's like whoever watches this on video, there was this like we have this big grins. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone for for tuning in and taking a moment out of your probably very busy mom lives to join our conversation. My name is Nadine Stille. I'm based in Vancouver, Canada, a place that Shannon just told me she definitely wants to visit sometime
Yes, I
soon.
do.
Um, it's gonna be so good. We've known each other and followed each other online for over a year now and connected even back then, right from the
Yes.
start. So
Yeah.
this is really coming kind of nearly full circle because I'm sure there's lots of other opportunities we can collaborate with in the future. But yeah, about myself. So I'm based in Vancouver. I'm a mom of one and currently my third trimester with baby number two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coaching moms to basically go for more, like ditch the grind, go and follow that spark in your heart. And that does look different for everyone. Sometimes it's like that idea that just keeps nagging and saying, oh, what if I did, you know, XYZ? What if I started my own business? What if I ditched my career, did something totally new? Or not actually went back to work after maternity leave. What would that look like? Finally start a podcast by myself, or write a book, something like that. And I just absolutely love doing that. It's like it's my own passion come to life and following my own spark in that sense. And yeah, every mom is on their own journey. Sometimes it's like tiny baby steps going forward and getting to know yourself a bit better. And in others, like, hey, Nadine, I want to do this. Can you help me? It's like, great, let's go for it. You're ready to go. And yeah, I do that with moms around the world. Like I said, I'm based in Canada, but I have clients in last year, someone in Australia. We made it work with the time
Oh,
zone
that's a tough
differences.
one. Yeah, that's hard.
That was a good one. And in Europe as well. So yeah, I'm like you can probably hear it from my voice. I love what I do. And when I'm not coaching, I do run events for moms. I am on podcasts like this
Mhm.
one here from Shannon, which is like I'm really stoked about. And yeah, I do love to take a moment for myself with a romance novel. Just,
Oh,
me in the book,
yeah.
or run after kiddo, hopefully sometime soon. It's two kids.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love baking, just being out and about. And that's basically me in a large nutshell, because you asked me for a short introduction.
Oh, I did not say short. Please, you can
No.
just continue. I'll just keep listening. I love it. I love
Uh,
it. I love that you're creating something where you're holding a space for other people to be like, hey, look what else is possible for you. I think
mm,
that's so important. And I know because I've experienced it, that it's so easy, whether you're working full time or working part time or you stay at home with your children, it all requires a lot of your energy. It's
mm.
very easy to forget that there's like life outside and possibility outside of your day to day. So it's so important that there are people like you out there spreading the message that there's more. There's more if you want more.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where what I've experienced as well. There is kind of even like coaching moms, it kind of evolved over years of what I really like to be involved in, and where my sweet spot comes in and my expertise. And I just know that moms get a lot more from me because I'm so excited about this topic myself. And again, I've been there. It's like I have a corporate background, who's a manager and leader in a software company, was doing mentoring and training and all these types of things. But then going through my own coaching journey and traveling across the world and starting my family over here later in life, it's like I've been there and done this, and I want others to do the same. And I love advocating for women to have choices, to go for the opportunities, to pursue what they may have told is not an option or a possibility, simply because they are moms now, right? It's like that's what expected of you. And I was like, well, and you know, what if, what if you want to do more? And that looks different for everyone. But that's where I come in. And it's like, okay, let's explore what more for you is, and follow that spark.
Oh, I love that. What have you found are some of the common challenges that moms face in this process? I know I personally went through a phase where I was like, I don't even know what I like anymore. So that I resonate with that. But what other things are you seeing moms struggle with in this
Yeah,
process?
that's such a common thing. And I went through that myself after after the first pregnancy, because it's just full on baby, and everyone's just constantly, oh, how's the little one doing? Did they sleep through the night yet? And you get hardly any questions for yourself. How are you
Yep.
doing, mom? Right?
Yes.
What do you enjoy? Do you want to come out for a coffee or whatever? It's just like those tiny things that make a huge difference. And yes, so sometimes it's I don't actually know who I am anymore, because you evolve as well. There's the saying, it's like when a baby is born, a mother is born. And yes, you've existed beforehand, and then there's the mother part. What picture do all these things create now, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, where do you start? There's so much. What do you enjoy? And there's I don't know. Sometimes there's even a bit of like self-doubt. It's like, oh, if I go out and figure out what I want to do, it has to be the right way. It's like, you want to make it perfect, or you want to have it right the right way, doing two big steps. It's like, okay, I'm going to start this new hobby, when you're not quite there yet and you're investing a lot, and then it's not working because maybe you haven't discovered everything else around it. So it's like too big, or there's the overwhelm. Where do I start? I don't even have energy to go to the hairdresser. How am I going to do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
Right? When you don't have a lot of the energy that you mentioned earlier, or the time, or any other type of resources. And then there's the big one about guilt. I find as well, especially when you've been just full on in kind of kid mode and bringing in money if you're working as well in a paid opportunity. And I was like, oh, now I'm taking more time away from my family or my kids or whatever. And is self-care selfish? Those types of things are coming on, and those are all kind of negative or self-sabotaging thinking patterns that really can hold you back. But they're very common. I see that all the time.
I'm sure. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
I know I hear it in my circle, but there's also this other kind of thing happening. I don't know if you're noticing it. Here in the States, we're not very well supported as mothers, but it's like, quit telling moms to take time for self-care, like that's going to solve everything. And I understand where they're coming from, but I also get frustrated because I'm like, you need to do something. Like, we can't change the whole structure and the larger picture, but what we can control is what's going on in our world right now.
Exactly.
And if you going to get that manicure, or you going to the library, or going to the coffee shop and reading for an hour by yourself makes you feel good for today, go do that thing. So I think there's like yes, there's larger things at play here, but like that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to take care of yourself in the meantime.
Exactly. It's not like you're not going to change paid time off or family care or lower school, tuition fees or whatever by not going to have that many cure. You need to look out for your own well-being. And I think it's just another way of dictating what women or moms need to do. It's just one more thing. It's like, sure, there's another thing we can make them feel bad about. Yes, it's not going to solve the bigger issues, but you have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And it's, yeah. I like, this is also where I come in. I know my voice alone won't do much on a grander scale. So I'm looking into like organizations that are really advocating for the bigger things because they have the resources, they have the connections. So I'm supporting them with, say, donations by like advocating for them, signing petitions, maybe doing some phone calls or like showing up at a conference and things like that, or even just sharing on their newsletters or information online to help them do like be more visible with the bigger things that I think need to change. And as a coach right now, I'm helping mom on a personal one-on-one level to change what's within their power right now for their own lives. That's where I come in and where I see my place. So I can still advocate for both, and I'm doing that. But I also know where my energies are better and my resources are better allocated. If I go out by myself and just go and say, hey, we need more maternity leave, paid maternity leave, or flexible working hours, or all of these things, it's like my input on my own would be relatively small. But if I lend my voice to organizations that have that impact, it's going to make a bigger difference. So yeah, I was like, thank you for bringing this up. It's a really good topic because it gets it's really annoying. Oh, here we found another thing that we can make women feel bad about, or tell them what they should and shouldn't do. And I was like,
oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you said that too. Like, there are bigger voices out there that have the resources. So support them in the way that feels good to you. And then go about taking care of yourself, please, for the love of God. Like,
yes.
If a manicure sounds amazing, if like driving, I drive myself, we're about 20 miles from the beach of Lake Michigan. Sometimes I'm like, I gotta go. And I just drive myself to the beach and I go stick my feet in the sand. And that is, for me, like magic. Like, it doesn't have to be this big charade. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I don't have a girlfriend group, or I don't have any plans, or I don't have any activity. Like, literally just go do the thing that you're like, that sounds nice. Just go do it.
Yeah. And you literally couldn't put a price on that as well. It's like, it's priceless, those types of experiences when you can do it. It's like, just drive, go there and spend that time for yourself and really take a moment for yourself. Right. And it all builds up. It all fills your cup and your batteries.
Yes.
Recharges your batteries.
Right. That's the thing too. I think, I know from my experience, I was like, I've had to learn to be so efficient as a working mom that I'm like, I need to see the value in every single thing that I'm doing, or why am I doing it? But that needs to be set down when it comes to, maybe meditating for 15 minutes didn't feel huge and expansive, but really I know when I get down to it, like, I let my nervous system relax for a few minutes. Like, I got to be quiet with myself for a few minutes. So even if I don't feel like I've gone from 1 to 10, I know that there's a culminating effect. So then when I go do the next thing that I like, it, like you said, we're filling that cup little by little. It all counts, and it's also important.
Yeah. And it, like, if you do need that extra justification, it will have a positive impact on your environment as well, right? So that's where why I'm so big about is like figuring out what your mojo is and following that spark. It's because it'll have a positive feedback loop as well. It's like you have the immediate results on it, the positive results of just simply feeling better, feeling more confident and going out into the world. You're more patient, you're more focused, you can deal with challenges much better when they do arise obviously
Yeah.
everyone was like, oh, okay, I didn't know we had to dress up for daycare today.
Oh my
Guess
gosh,
we'll,
right.
whatever. All these things kind of come up. And when you're, more self-assured and you're more rested, or you're, just dancing in the moment a bit, it all pays off. And yes, so it pays off for yourself, but also for your family, for your job where you're a bit more switched on. Everyone and everything benefits from it. And yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about that particular topic as well. I'm glad you thought we should talk about it too here.
I think we have to keep saying it. I think if we say it enough, it'll start to click for people. Like, fine, you don't want to do it for you, do it for your kids. Done. Like, my
Yeah.
daughter said to me, she's a dancer, she's 7, and they have an adult class at her, and I used to dance as well, and they have an adult class, and she was like, you should take it. And I was like, honestly, she's like, it would be so good for you. She was so excited. She was like, please take the dance class. And I was like, whoa, okay, okay, maybe. So I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's just, will I have the energy at the end of my day? Because it's like 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, from like a mom bedtime perspective, that's nice. But do I have energy at 8 o'clock is more of a concern. But
Yeah, right.
it's like, your kids want you to be happy. They, and at her age, she's able to articulate it to me like, oh, you're going to love that. Please go do that. That's so fun. So it's so good for everybody. You're so right. Okay. Are there other blocks? I mean, the guilt we've talked about, and we've alluded into like the lack of energy and things, but like, what are other things do you see where women are just like, nope, I'm not available for it. I am standing in my own way. Do you come across that? Or by the time somebody finds you, are they like, I know something needs to change, but maybe I need someone to hold a mirror to help me figure out what that is?
Yeah, there are a few things, and I don't know, maybe it's more like misconceptions, but again, it's about the time and the energy that they might not have, or they need to have it all figured out. It's like, following that spark, but it's like, what if they don't even see a glimmer yet?
Yeah. Yeah, please talk about that.
So, so it's like, you don't have to have it all figured out, but it's kind of, sometimes it's just that awareness, that mindfulness of like, what I'm experiencing right now, that daily grind of just more of the same, and just feeling, really, like, just like without a bit of passion and energy, or it's just a bit blah. Everything's kind of blah. When you want away from it and you're ready to do something about it, I think that's enough to start going and following that. That's already that glimmer or that spark that you're looking for. It's like, no, I want more. I deserve more. I want away from whatever this is. There has to be something else. You don't have to really wait until your kids are older either. Because that's often a thing, I have to have it all figured out. It's like, what do I want? And it's like, no, that's exactly where you come in. You don't need to be fit to go to a fitness trainer.
Exactly.
That's or know what exercises you need to do when you're going into the gyms. Like, no, that's what they're there for, to help you out, right? And or it's like doing it all by yourself. Sometimes we were just talking about that as well. It's like, yes, sometimes it's great to just do stuff by yourself and for yourself. That's absolutely worthwhile. And there's also, it's like, you're a coach, I'm a coach, we're helping, moms around it. There's a support village. Maybe there's someone at work, a mentor that can help you out, or so many mom groups, both online and in person as well. And those things that I just said, they're all, it sounds a bit tough, but it sounds like more like excuses and obstacles rather than some real things that could hold you back. So if you want to get away from whatever you're experiencing right now and just want a bit more life and passion in your life, with whatever that is, or self-care or time for yourself, to figure out what you want to fill it with, that's enough. Just go for it.
I am reminded of a quote of a woman named Catherine Garland, who was a few episodes back. She is a homesteading, homeschooling mom. Love that for her, not my jam. But she had a friend that said to her when she was like, I don't know if I can do this. Her friend said, you can if you want to. And it's like, that has stuck with me. I mean, I know it totally changed her trajectory where she's like, oh, I guess I can. But I'm like, I've returned to this full-time position and I'm like, what does life look like? How do I balance all these things? And that just keeps going. Like, you can if you want to. So what does it
Mm-hmm.
look like in this season? And you're right. Oftentimes we're our biggest obstacle. We're the ones holding
Mm-hmm.
ourselves back. We're the ones
Yeah.
in our way.
That reminds me of two quotes that have really stuck with me. It's like people told me, it's like one is from my very first coach that I had for myself. And it was all about moving from Ireland, where I used to live, the Republic of Ireland, with my life there of like 10 years and the career that I loved and, people around me, to move now to Canada to be with my then boyfriend, now husband. And I got this coach to help me just like kind of wrap everything up, apply for all the paperwork. And it's like there was a lot going on at the same time. And he said, Nadine, the fastest way to get from here to there is by just going. It's a straight line. Just quit your job, do it, and just book a ticket and go over. That's the straight line. Everything you're telling me is just a boulder on the street, that you
Yeah.
need to like do and make it happen. And I was like, okay, yes, I can remove some of those things from my own journey. But these are the things that are really important to me. It's like non-negotiables. They have to be in place first before I go and be with my husband. But it was like, yeah, if you want to, you'll make it happen. And it's the other quote was from one of my very earliest managers. It's like years and years back. And we always had to do like some tough decisions together. And she was like, the hardest thing is to make the decision. So like, just come to the decision. Once you've made the decision, you will know what to do because you just run with it. You'll know what the risks are, what the benefits are, you'll figure it out. You're resourceful and creative enough to figure that out. But you need to make sure that you have the decision.
Yeah.
The decision is something that you want to go with. And I was like, yeah, once you made a decision, everything's just going to flow.
You're
You'll
so
make it
right.
work.
Yeah.
And those two things have come up so often in my life when things are a bit tough. And I think back about that. And just that quote that you just mentioned as well, just brought those back as well. There's a kind of trifecta that work really well together, I find.
Yeah. Well, and I know somebody's like, well, what if I make the wrong decision? Well, then you pivot. You live and you learn and you try and something else. Yeah.
You learn. Exactly. There's so much learning. Yeah. There's always so much learning. And I get it. As moms, we want to make sure that it's not like we only have so much energy and time, right?
Yeah.
That's why we don't want to try all the things or can do all the things and invest in it. That's when I find often that like moms come to me, it's like, I don't, like, how do I make this work? Can we have a plan or set something up? So it's a bit more focused rather than exploring everything.
Yeah.
But really figuring out what makes actually sense to explore and play around in a more of a framework, not the entire world, but a bit more focused what makes sense for them.
Multi-passionate women like myself need someone like you because I'm like, I'll just try all the things. And then you find that you haven't made a lot of progress in any of them, even if you're having fun. So yeah, that's great.
It depends what you want. If it's fun and exploring and that's what really is something that you value in life, just being all these things and trying all the things. And that's the thing that's actually meaningful to you, then let's go for it. But it's more of a mindful decision to be like this broad, right? Because that's what gives you that joy.
Yeah, I like what you
Always
just said
depends.
though. Well, because you can do something just for the sake of doing it. Like it doesn't have to lead to something else. And I can't speak for Canada, but here in the US, I think we often, women especially, have a habit of trying to monetize our hobbies. We're like, oh, well, if I start weaving, well, then maybe I could sell them and maybe I could start a little side business and then I can make some extra, like not everything has to be, it's like you take the fun away from it as soon as you like tie capitalism to it, it's like, or just do it because you like to and it looks pretty when you're done. Like that's reason enough too.
Yeah, right. Just for the sake of it, just for the sake of fun.
I know.
Trying something out.
We're so output driven here that it's like, well, what if there is no product at the end? Okay.
Right. And then it becomes a like an argument for not starting in the first place.
Oh man. Yeah.
Right. So it's like you're getting overwhelmed. Oh, it's like if that isn't good and I can't, where am I going to sell it? What am I going to sell it for? What if no one, but it's like, I might as well not.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it's like you talk yourself out of some fun.
Yeah, this has been really good. Like high level, like do the thing. But if someone is like, I am fried, I'm burned out, give me just a couple of like something I can do today or this week, what would you suggest?
Basically, it's like 3 questions that I would put out. It's like, one is, what have you enjoyed in the past that you haven't done in a while? So it's like, even like before baby or kids came along, maybe even in your teens, like what is there in your past that you're like, oh, I wish I could do that again, or just try it out and see if I still like it, right? There's no, don't attach any judgment to it or value, that it has to work. It's like, no, just like, what is there in the past that you have enjoyed? Then the other thing is, what is something that, like, even just scanning through your life a bit, and it doesn't have to be often, but it's like right now, it's like, what is something that gives you a bit of energy? It's like, where do you bubble up? Right? It's like, you probably say tuning in now, you can hear when Shannon and I got like super, oh my God, this is so cool. So where is that for you in your life? What are you really passionate about? What gives you kind of energy you can't stop talking about? You wave your hands up in the air like you just don't care. And you're just like, oh my God, this is so cool stuff. So what is that for you right now? And then you can also, it's like, take a bit of, inspiration from someone else and see, it's like, oh, what if I tried what they are doing, right? It's like, take that, it's like, look at what other moms are doing in a way that is not, so I have to say that, not competitive, or it's like you're comparing yourself or whatever. It's just taking inspiration and saying, oh, they've tried, what did you just say? Weaving. Okay, maybe that's something for me, right? Or they've tried this new arts thing, or they're doing, I don't know, what is this? Something else. What else could they be doing, Shannon?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
what do other moms do?
I don't know. What do moms
Podcasting.
do? I don't know a lot of moms who podcast. I know lots who love to read. I have lots of friends who are big on tackling their reading lists. I don't exercising. I know some moms who run marathons, which you'll never catch me doing. I will die.
No. Yeah. Or even just a dance class, right? It's like what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
It's like a dance class, or picking up a book. It's like, what would that, like, even if it's a cookbook, it's like, what is that? What have you seen others enjoy? And you want to maybe tap into that. So it's like, reflect for yourselves, like those 3 things, like, what are others doing that you can take inspiration from? What gives you currently energy that could, that you can build up on for a bit more spark and energy and joy in your life. And reflecting back as well, it's like, what has there been in the past that you might want to explore again, what that could be. So a bit of reflecting there, and then actually going for it. I mean, actually doing it. Telling someone, it's like your partner, your girlfriend, Shannon and me, is like, hop online on Instagram and tell us what you were going to do.
Yeah, right? You give me some ideas too. Like, oh, that sounds fun. I'll try that.
Please tag us on Insta, and we'll definitely cheer you on for sure. And to get that done. So it's like, what is that? Let someone know for a bit of accountability and cheering on, and then put it in the calendar, or do it right away, depending on what it is. And go through with it. That's, a bit of reflection, and then just going for it. You've got this, Mama.
Oh my gosh. I love the accountability piece. I think some people get nervous, like, oh, I've put it out there. But no, you have opened the door for so many people to be like, yes, I love that for you. That's amazing. Go do it. Please tell me how it went. I thought of an example after we were talking. We couldn't think of examples. Has sourdough taken Vancouver by storm the way sourdough has taken this part of the world by storm?
Right. I love eating it more than making it, but
yeah, I do not have a sourdough start, but I have consumed many delicious products of the sourdough craze. Thank you so much to my neighbor Emily. She's amazing. And so is her sourdough. But my other friend was looking for a sourdough start, and she got on Facebook, found that there was a local, like in her like little community, a sourdough like local group, and realized that some of people she knew were in there, and has like forged these friendships because of sourdough. It like has turned into this whole thing. And I'm like,
Wow.
you just don't know where it'll go, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's some communities here, like local ones, but obviously I found them through Facebook. It's like the moms from this particular street or parents from this neighborhood. There's like coffee and walking for new moms.
Mm,
So it's like brand new moms growing up or kids born this year in this region. Hey, we want to like can we be friends, stuff like that.
I
And it's
love
or
that.
moms who love hiking. Here there's a lot of
Yeah.
mountains around here. And it's, you just never know. You just never know. There's climate action groups for parents with their kids to clean up beaches and
Oh,
parks and
cool.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's cycling groups, gardening groups for parents. Bring your kids or just do it yourself, running clubs for moms. You name it, it's out there. And just Google it. And it doesn't have to be the global thing. It can, or like an online thing. It could also be something that you find online, but it's actually, like you said, very, very local.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of women seeking connection. I belong to way too many Facebook groups, but it's amazing to watch how someone's like, hey, I'm in this area. I haven't really met any other moms. These are the ages of my kids. I would love to maybe go for a walk around the park with our kids, or does someone want to start a book club? And women are just jumping in at the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for connection, which I think is really important too. I know
Yeah.
so many of us are remote and spend, I mean, I'm a homebody. I love working from home. I love being at home. I love my house. But you do need that community aspect too, because we're not
Mm-hmm.
meant to do all this solo,
Yeah.
so that's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful piece of it too. A beautiful byproduct of following those nudges and those
Yeah.
glimmers.
Yeah, for sure. And actually it's the same over here. It's like in all these mama parenting groups, someone just has to show a tiny bit of courage and put out that
Yeah.
post, hey, I'm new to the area, or I have a new kid, or I have this and this question, and people are generally very, very happy to help out or to connect, and because they're in the same boat, right? Or
Hmm.
they're paying it forward, or they're just like, yeah, I'm new here too. Do you want to meet up?
Yeah.
So just an encouragement, just go for it,
Right. And as you told
put
me
out that
before we
post.
started like officially talking for the episode, go start it yourself. If you're seeking something and you can't find it, go start
There
it.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. That's something that I've been toying with. So we'll see if I follow through. But if I'm going to follow through, I'll post it so you can hold
Yes,
me
please.
accountable.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is like one big piece of encouragement or advice that you would give to moms who are just ready to start and like rediscover
Hmm.
who they are outside of this title of mom and just
Yeah.
get back to who they are?
I want to say it's to really dial down the noise in your head, and that's easier said than done, because we can be this there can be a lot of like negative self chatter go on in our heads,
So much.
on top of all the regular noise that's coming from the outside. So it's like dialing down that noise and the shoulds and the expectations from others, and tune a bit more into your hearts. Like, what is that you really actually want? If you had
Yeah.
all the time and the energy and the resources in the world, what would you want to do? What's that thing? And dare to say it out loud or write it down somewhere, because that can be quite impactful as well, just to voice what you want and what you need, and then pursue it with self-compassion. We can be quite hard on ourselves, I find, from years of coaching moms, on it's like, has to be perfect, has to be this way, or we need to be full on with this. It's like, no, it's like approach it with self-compassion, a dose of courage, and just know that you'll like play around with it. It's like you're trying things out. It's natural that it might not be the right or the perfect thing right away, but you're going for it and you're following your heart, and you can do it in tiny baby steps or mighty giant leaps. But go for it. Even if you're freaking out a tiny bit, that's totally normal as well
Yeah.
around it. It's all about saying yes to yourself a bit more in your own happiness because you matter.
Oh, so good. Oh, there was like so many things I wanted to say, and I don't know if I can remember them all. But if you have something that when you think of it, you're like, ooh, that sounds scary. Like, oh, I think that's even better. If it scares you a little bit, if you're like,
Ooh.
oh no, like, not me, I couldn't. Well, hey, you know what? There's a reason that it was placed on your heart and not your neighbor's heart. Like, if there's a reason, yeah, if it scares you a little bit, I think it's even better. And maybe you're not in a place right now, like you are getting ready to bring a new life into the world. So maybe if you're in a situation like you are, maybe it's not time to start, the big, huge dream goal, but what could you do in the meantime to take
Exactly.
steps towards that?
Exactly. Right. And sometimes you need to put other things into place first. Just like maybe set some boundaries, learn something, or kind of energize yourself first. Create a bit of space for yourself step by step before you go after the bigger thing, right?
Yes.
If you're low on energy or your batteries are running low and there's literally no time in your day where you can say pursue a new career or a new hobby, then that's something you might want to work on first. But again, that helps when the people are working with you or with me, and we're looking at where can you create some space and time for yourself to actually then fill that with all the goodness. It's like get rid of the grind and the ugh and the blah, and then mindfully fill that bucket with the things that light you up and bring you that energy.
Yes. And you had said before about the shoulds. There are so many things that we do just because we should, or we think that we should. Not that we should. We think that we should, but it's unconscious. You don't even realize you're doing it. And I'll give you an example. For dear listeners, here's an example for you. We enrolled my older daughter on top of dance. She loves doing gymnastics. She wants to do gymnastics again. Her little sister is 2.5 and is now taking an interest in all things that big sissy is doing. So we found a class at the same place that happens at the same time. And the little one will need a parent present. So I automatically was like, okay, fine. Dad will go and I will go and I will handle, the little one, be the parent, and then maybe we'll switch on and off. One parent watches the older one, from the stands, and the other one is with the. And I said that to my husband. I was like, so how do you want to do this? He was like, I will take them. I will do the parent and child class. The 7-year-old will be fine. And you can just do what you want. And I was like, what? I didn't even consider that I didn't have to go. I was just plugging myself in, and he was like, I got it. Where are we doing that in our lives where we're like, oh, I should just show up and do the things. It's me. It's my job. No, let them take up some space,
Exactly. Yeah. It's, but it's, your question prompted that. It's that, how are we going to do this? And so often it's like, you don't need to volunteer and say yes to everything. Right. It's more about where does it make sense for you, right? And that needs to be balanced out with probably saying yes to a few more things that we already do. It's just like saying no more to the wrong things and more yes, to the things that actually make us feel a bit happier.
Yeah. Yeah. And just because you always said yes, right? Just because you always did that thing doesn't mean that you have to continue. Like your partner is capable of assisting with a lot of the things that are taking up your time if they're not already. So let them, and then you can have some space.
Yay. Exactly. Oh, I like the way you phrase this. Like let them enjoy their parenthood journey or being part of dance class with your 2.5-year-old. It's like,
yeah, and I think so much of us pick up the responsibilities just, again, because we're like, this is what we do as moms. Like, we handle the appointments, and we handle this, and we handle that. And it's like, or we don't do all the things. Have you considered that maybe that's a 50-50 role, and you don't have to be in charge of not only the going, but the mental load of all the scheduling and arranging?
Okay. Do you have another 10 days to talk about the mental load?
Yes, for you, absolutely. I know. It's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. And it's like you can't see it, like you don't see it on your schedule. You don't see it in your job description. You don't see, it's huge.
Yeah. And magically, everything just runs smoothly throughout the day. It's like, we're the magic makers.
Mm-hmm. It's time we take the time to make some magic for ourselves.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful way to round this whole conversation up in a way. Wow, Shannon, this was a bombshell.
Okay, so you're getting ready for baby number 2. I'm excited for you. But what surprised you most about motherhood so far?
It surprised me most.
It could be good, bad, or otherwise.
Oh gosh, this sounds okay. I'm just gonna say it.
Say
What surprised me most is what I'm capable of.
Aww, I love that.
Because there've been some really tough times. It's like getting kiddo through. It's like my family's in Europe. So half of our kind of support network isn't here, and it was during the pandemic. Which is like building your own kind of business throughout all of that, and there've been some health issues and stuff like that. So it's like, wow. Yeah, sometimes you just cruise by, but then it's like, actually, if we take a moment, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you have those other thoughts about, could have done a bit better. And it's like, okay, what's next time?
Right. Right. I hope everyone can take a moment today and just realize, take a moment and be like, hey, I'm pretty cool. I've accomplished a lot of things. Yeah.
Right.
And I think being a mother just forces you to show up and do things that you didn't think you ever could, right? What choice do you have? And then we don't take a moment to pause and celebrate ourselves for the amazing things that we accomplish.
Exactly. We need to do that a lot more often. Absolutely. Give ourselves some grace and just acknowledge. We don't, acknowledge or celebrate. And it's like, make that a regular thing. Maybe at the end of the week, hey, what actually happened? So often it's like, oh, it's been one of those weeks. Oh, it's been one of those weeks for weeks and months at ends. But actually just taking a moment, hey, what actually went well? Even if you just made it out of bed and got the kids to school on time 5 days a week.
Yes.
That can be a huge win,
We don't recognize what an accomplishment that is. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Even if that's air quote, the only thing you accomplished this week, like good for you. Proud of you, Mom. Okay. I have to ask, what is your thing that you like to take time for?
So reading is a big thing. It definitely is.
Yeah.
I just I can, especially on days when it's been really stressful, there's a lot going on. I can actually feel it in my heart rate. So that, and I can recharge. Like, it doesn't have to be long either. It's like half an hour. I do love baking. I actually really enjoy that. And the eating afterwards.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. So baking and eating. And oh my gosh, it's like my younger self wouldn't probably never have acknowledged that, but now I do actually like a bit of gardening. It's not like we have a garden, we have a patio with some plants on, and we have lots of house plants as well. But even it's like in between coaching sessions or in between meetings when things are on, it's like just take a cup of tea, go out, or coffee, go outside on the patio and just, I don't know, water the plants for 5 minutes. Such a quick reset, really, a mindfulness reset. And I know for me that is really, really working. And right now it's like gearing up for birth number 2 and kid number 2. I'm doing a lot of positive affirmations and meditations to kind of get myself in this space and gear myself up. And usually that's just a few minutes as well. It's not a lot, but I can see the difference, and I notice the difference there as well. So yeah, those are the ones that come to mind right away. Yeah.
They're so good.
What about you?
Oh, well, thank you for sharing, first of all, because sometimes when people are like, I don't know what I like, they need suggestions, like, what are people doing? I do have a garden. I've turned into a bit of a gardener over the years, and it's the thing that I do after I put the kids to bed. I go out. Thankfully, here in the summer, we're like at the western edge of the time zone. So peak summer, it's still light out to like 9:45 at night, which is glorious. So if I get them down at 8:15, I can still go outside. I have plenty of daylight. But I had this moment the other night. I have flowers. I try to grow some vegetables. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. I am no professional by any means, but I still enjoy it. A bee had fallen asleep in one of my flowers and I almost cried. I just took a moment. I was like, this is so sweet. I'm so grateful that I created a safe space for you to take, some time to rest. It was so simple. Younger me was like, okay, are we really doing this right now? We're really staring at a bee asleep on a flower. But I was just in the moment and just so yeah. So that, and
very wholesome. And nurturing as well. And, you're growing things.
Yeah.
And oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And then I think we'll try the dance class this year. So we'll see.
Yay!
Yeah.
What dancing is it?
This class is a tap class, and I used to take tap. I used to teach tap, so I know I could jump back into it pretty easily.
You were a tap dance teacher?
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah,
it doesn't say that in your Insta bio.
It was a blip. It was a couple of years in college, but yeah. So funny.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, we've all heard it now. You can't edit this out of the podcast. We're all your accountability partners and cheerleaders, cheer-oners.
And I'm cheering on you, and I'm cheering on anybody else who is listening. Seriously, tag myself, tag Nadine, and you're going to give us all of your handles and everything where we can find you in just a minute.
Yeah.
But I would love that so much. Please tag me or shoot me a message so I can be like, yes. I don't care if it's the silliest thing that you think it's the silliest thing. I'll be like, I love this for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. It's please.
I know. Oh gosh. Okay. So please tell everyone how they can find you, how they can work with you, all the things.
Okay. Just up front, I think you'll have the handles in the show notes.
Yes, yes, it will all be in the show notes. Yes.
Okay, so that's probably easiest. Just look it up in the show notes. So my handles on LinkedIn and Instagram is basically my name at Nadine Stille. So it's NADINE STILLE. So still with an E. It's German and it means silence.
Oh.
My surname. I know it's not, and I'm a talker. Just like you.
You're like, no, not me.
Yeah, there were all the jokes that at school back then.
It's funny.
So yeah, it's probably just scroll to the show notes and give me a follow there, and tag me later. And if you wanted to actually stay more in contact and have more tips and tricks and encouragement and motivation. You can join my Mama Cure newsletter community, and the best way of doing it actually is through getting one of my freebies from my website. So again, it's my name, and the website just scrolls down to the
show notes.
Oh my God, show notes. That's the word I was looking for.
You got that pregnancy brain. It happens.
Oh, and I have a resource section on my website, and there's actually two that I think would work for you, depending on where you are on your journey and finding your spark. So there's one resource that's called Nurture Mama, and it gives you all that kind of energy and the calm and the de-stressing part with affirmations and recorded meditations and a journal. And the other one is like, oh no, I've got this all sorted and I really want to go for the thing that I can't stop thinking about. There's a resource called Creating the Life That You Truly Want, 5-step roadmap. So that I'm claiming one of those freebies for yourself or both if you want to, will also automatically enroll you to my Mama Care newsletter community. And then you get some fab things from me in your inbox on a weekly basis. That's it. Thank you.
I get her emails. They're good. I enjoy them.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Of course. No, thank you. What a gift. What a gift. Oh my gosh. And if someone is like, oh my gosh, I want to work with you. I know you're getting ready to have a baby. Is there opportunity in the future to work with you?
Absolutely. Yes. So depending on when you're listening to this, I'm going to, I do plan to go on maternity leave sometime mid-end September 2024. So
right. You never know when people are finding these episodes.
So I do like shorter sessions as well, either once off like clarity sessions just to kind of get you started and really plan something out for you. Or, it's like shorter sessions for a couple of weeks building up to that. But I'll definitely be back in 2025 with like more one-on-one coaching. That's currently what I'm concentrating on, to really like be very specific and personalized for everyone, for all the moms that are coming on. So yeah, just come on my newsletter list and you'll see. I'll keep you up to date with all the
Oh,
things.
Nadine, I could talk to you all night. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad we did this. Thank you. Thank you.
Me too.
This has been so
Thank you so
fun.
much for having me on. And yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we'll get this in like 45 minutes, and here we are. It's like talking and it's like discussing all the things and the state of the world. Thank you so much for having me, and for everyone else listening in, thank you for staying on to the very end.
I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did. All right. Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on another episode of the Having a Mom Moment podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing this space with us today. Before you go, don't forget to check out the show notes for any links or resources mentioned in today's episode. And hey, while you're at it, why not give me a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Having a Mom Moment? You can also visit havingамommoment.com for even more mom-inspired resources. If you've enjoyed today's conversation as much as I have, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on future episodes. And it would mean so much if you leave us a glowing 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, remember to embrace those mom moments, find alignment in your journey, and always honor the incredible woman you are. Take care, friends, and we'll see you on the next episode.